Welcome back to CharacterSelect. Dave, Tokyo Dark. Trying to remember what we were doing before, but I think we're going to the room. Yeah, there we are. Because the friggin' screens are changed. I forgot to start my timer. Let me do that right now. There we go. Alright, so it's been a couple of weeks since I played this. I wanted to record the first 2 episodes before we started the month of October, so I did. But we're right back into it. This doesn't seem right. Doesn't match the descriptions I got at all. What was that? Who's there? Reina? Is that you? Huh? Who's there? Look around you. Interesting, isn't it? It said the cranes can grant a wish. What is it you wish for? So, apparently there's a Japanese folklore thing. If you fold 1,000 paper cranes with a specific wish in your heart, then that wish will come true. I've never been one to believe in wishes. Are you him? The Collector? Collector, Crow, one of many names given to me over the years. But we've no time to waste on such boring, trivial things as introductions. Don't you want to know who I am? Oh, I know who you are, Detective Ito. Or should I say Investigator? So hard to keep it straight. I suppose it's irrelevant what you call yourself now, as you've arrived at exactly where you need to be. Something's different. Yes, what is it, I wonder? Ah, that's it, you're like me, after a fashion. You see things differently from those around you. The world is not so solid and unchanging as it is for them. Things bend, they break. Am I wrong? No. Nothing's been the same since Kamakura. Yes, of course, the girl you murdered, Reina. Was that your fault? I mean, something did make her. Then you are a puppet, dancing at the end of your strings to a tune you cannot hear? No, that's not what I said. I'm no one's puppet. Are you so sure, Detective? Do you really feel like everything you've done is under your control? When faced with the impossible, you're so certain that every choice you make is your own? I don't know. Sometimes I feel like they're made for me. Which is easier, I wonder, the knowledge that the cause of all your suffering and your joys of your own doing, or someone else's? For the record, someone else's would be creepy. Not knowing that I'm not in control of it, that would be awful. I don't have time for this. Of course. Our conversation is tilted towards the philosophical, but you're not here for philosophy. You want something more tangible. I want information. Facts. No, it is my business to know what people desire, and that is not what you seek. What is it you want, truly? Tanaka. I want to know what really happened to him. No, it's not only that. I want to know what's happening to me, too. Nothing makes sense anymore. Tired of chasing after clues that lead to dead ends. Perhaps I can be of some help to you. But first, please indulge me. I have a few questions. I'm curious, so curious. You're such a unique visitor, after all. Yes, nothing like the others. Fine, what do you want to know? On the night of your partner's disappearance, you found your way into the sewer using a man. Why him? A witness saw him. A witness placed him in that sewer. Why not go directly to the source? What is this, some sort of psych test? I came here for answers, enough of the games. It's no game, Detective. I can give you what you seek. This is my price. That's it? You wanted information to use against me? Seems you already got enough. Blackmail? Pedestrian. Simplistic. No, I've no interest in that. Then what do you want? Everything I collect brings me closer to an understanding. Much like you. Only the puzzle I assemble is considerably larger, and the piece you provide is well worth the trouble. Shall we continue? Do I have a choice? You've already made it. You show such little patience, Detective. Surprising considering the effort you took to get here. The girl, Reina, she's the one you've been chasing, yes? Let's talk about her. Why didn't you shoot her again in the sewer? She was holding your dear Tanaka at knife point. Why didn't you pull the trigger? She didn't deserve it. To keep her talking, I didn't want to hurt anyone. I should have. She didn't deserve it. I mean, she was crazy, but knowing what I know now, she didn't deserve it because the craziness is kind of crippling. Reina was clearly sick, out of her mind. What was shooting her going to prove? Interesting. Most interesting. Though she's gone, the sleepless nights continue, don't they? You've taken your pills twice. Is that enough to make a difference? Do they help? Does it not make you question the futility of it all? Most interesting. Perhaps you've told me enough. Yes, this is most useful. I accept this trade. In return, you want... What was it? Ah, yes, that's right. A path. A way forward. I suppose it's your turn to ask the questions now. Let's start with Tanaka. In the dark, where he lives. Whether he lives... that is more difficult. The dark. That's not the first time I've heard that. What is it? Where can I find it? A better question is, where can it not be found? Can you not feel it around you, following you at every turn? It pays great mind to those within its walls. You know of whom I speak. The common thread that binds all the misery in your heart. Reina. If that's where she is, Tanaka must be there too. The girl's thread is a complicated one. Yes, very tangled. It begins in Cabachiko and a talent agency called Omega. Cabachiko? I know it well enough. As I imagine any officer of the law would. The dark is a sacred place. It lives and breathes, changes shape and goes where it pleases. And it is the girl whose suffering determines its shape. Without understanding its root, you will never find your way. Or it could tear you apart. Like it almost has already. I don't know why, but I get the hunch that you'll know what this is. What is it? Reina is obsessed with it. It must be important, but I can't figure it out. I see. A most interesting relic. It makes people do the most fascinating things. Why did Reina want it so badly? It is a tool. Instead of living in fear of it, why not use it? Maybe the key that will help you find your precious Tanaka. Though as powerful as it is, one cannot expect to use it knowing nothing about it. You said it yourself. It all started in Kamakura. The Kawanas have quite a history with that mask. The Kawanas? My? The Shrine Maiden girl? Her grandmother was the one that gave it to me. The very same. Gives me the creeps. Maybe I should have gotten rid of it. Don't do that. You'll never find your way without it. A dressmaker, a cat breeder, a blackmailer. Seems that no one in this town can agree on anything about you except your name. There's no way anyone could know what you do. It's impossible. Or there's no way that anyone could know what you do. It's impossible. So what are you? Take a look around you. Is it not familiar? Can you not smell it? The stench of corruption. I've been here so long, longer than you can imagine. Feeling the desires, the loves, the hatred of mankind flow through this place? For you, detective, I am exactly who you need me to be. Now, shall we return our attention to the matter at hand? Our trade, after all, was not for knowledge of how I fit into your story. It was for a way to clear the... How did you put it? Ah, yes. To clear the dead ends you run up against. Let us reconsider your problem. The mask and the dark are inexorably linked. I hate that word. Pursuing one without the other is futile. Now you are an enemy of the dark, who will reject you without understanding it, and you'll be lost without the necessary tool. How will I know when a path's been opened? Ask your puppet master. My end of the bargain has been upheld. You seem awfully eager to help me. What's the catch? Something tells me I'm going to regret talking to you. Paranoia, an unnecessary feeling. As I said, people fascinate me, especially ones as unique as yourself. You are a detective. I've only given you the tools you need to finish the job. From there, now that is the interesting part. I look forward to seeing your progress. Consider your debt to me partially repaid. The rest I shall collect at another time. Tell me, my little puppet, if you can see your strings, does your dance not continue until we meet again? Creepy? Alright, well, the good news is we have kind of a path forward now. The air in the collector's basement was stagnant and heavy. If I had stayed any longer, I felt like it may have suffocated me. For the time I was there, Akihabara faded away into distant memory. I returned to the surface, put my hand up to shield my eyes from the sunlight, listened to the people in the street. Their conversations seemed so pointless, part of a world I no longer belonged to. Busy sounds of the street swept away the cobwebs from my mind, forcing me to remember everything I told the collector, and everything he impossibly knew. I told him so much, but did I have a choice? Maybe he was right and I was a puppet after all. At that moment it didn't matter. The dark and the mask both belonged to a world I was now a part of. Normal methods of investigation wouldn't lead me to them. Countless paths were narrowed to two, and I had no choice but to march forward toward the leads I'd been given. As I left Akihabara behind, one thing bothered me. How did the collector know so much about me? Was I really so easy to read? I didn't have time to dwell on it. Kazuki and Reina were in the dark, that much had been all but confirmed. And now I had a means, however impossible, to find them. Two paths, the mask and the dark. Both were necessary and I had to make a choice of which to follow first. Chase after a talent agency in Tokyo's red light district, or back to Kamakura to visit Mai, the girl I nearly got killed. Neither seemed very appealing. My logical side didn't understand how either would help. But as everything around me cracked and crumbled away, logic didn't matter anymore. I had to choose, or maybe something would choose for me? Hey, that's me choosing for you! Haha, nice. Let's go to Kamakura. So, I did look up the achievement list on this game after the last recording session. There's something like 15 different endings to this game. It's crazy. Came here to find about the mask, but there's something I've got to do first. 6 months ago, I sent one girl to the morgue and very nearly killed another. Since then, I thought of coming here to apologize to Mai Kawana countless times, but I couldn't will myself to see her and be faced with my failure. Think of the fear and hurt in her eyes, and I feel nothing but shame. For my own peace of mind, I need to tell her the truth about that day, about how I lost control. Hopefully she can find it in herself to forgive me enough to help me with my investigation of the mask. Wait, it's fall. Why are the cherry blossoms blooming? It's like nothing's changed since that day. Is dude guy in here? Oh, it's, you! I was reading the papers and, I saw your picture. And then I saw that picture on the TV news. And maybe the 7chan message boards after I looked you up. I'm sorry, I was curious. I remember meeting you and couldn't believe it. It's like I met a celebrity or something. Oh, of course it's not good or anything, but you never know who you'll meet in this business. Everyone always seems so unassuming. I mean, that's not to say any of it was your fault or anything. Okay, so she's just like, shut up. Message boards are pretty bad. A lot of bad stuff in there, like, wow! Pretty wild stuff. Are you done? Oh, right. Sorry, yes. Hello, again. What's going on with the weather here? It's fall. Why are the cherry blossoms out? It's beautiful, isn't it? There's a species of cherry tree, the Prunus subhertella autumnalis, whatever, that sometimes blooms twice a year. At least that's what it says online. Who'd have thought we'd have them here in Kamakura? Well, I say Kamakura, but they only seem to be in this part of town. Lucky, huh? Cherry blossom tree that blooms in fall? I've never seen it. You sure you've got your facts straight? It seems impossible. Possible? Do you doubt my botany expertise? Impossible would be if the seasons started reversing themselves, don't you think? Yeah, it certainly feels that way. Huh? You say something? Why the glum face? Anyway, I hope you take advantage of the weather and go for a picnic or something. The blossoms are so peaceful, don't they put your mind at ease? No. Is Mai's grandmother still at that house near here? You want to see her? Well, she is still around, I suppose. See the comings and goings of all the people around here. I don't see her getting out much, though. Oh yes, that reminds me. When you were here last April, did she, I don't know, give you something? I'm not accusing you, of course, I heard there was an important artifact that went missing last spring. Kawana is old and losing her faculties a bit. Maybe she gave it to you by mistake. Can you remember anything like that? Oh, I see. I'm sure it'll turn up. I'm not telling him that I've got a fucking mask. Looking for Mai Kawana. Have you seen her? Oh, you're looking for Mai again, huh? Are you sure that's such a good idea? She was pretty upset about the, happenings the last time you were here. I mean, I've barely seen her leave Kamakura since then. Maybe it's best you leave her alone. It's important I talk to her. I suppose she'd be at the shrine that's down this street, like usual. Mai's very important to this town. Please don't upset her too much. We all want everything to go back to normal. Yeah, well, okay. Just need to exit here. Yeah, so there's a bunch of different endings to this game, and all of them are apparently pretty creepy. Go away, no visitors! Alright. I think there's like one good ending, and all the other endings are basically, go crazy, kill yourself, or some bullshit like that. Jesus Christ. Hi. Cherry blossoms fell gently at my feet as I approached the Kawana family shrine. In front of me was Mai Kawana, still dressed in the outfit of the shrine maiden. She had seen me approach and stood there frozen and terrified, the same helpless look on her face as when she had a knife to her throat months before. This time it was me she was terrified of. We were the only two people at the shrine, yet I couldn't shake the feeling of being followed. A familiar presence watching from the shadows. What? No, 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 no! Nope! Fuck you, mask! Fuck off! No, I won't do it. Why now? Why her? I don't have to do what you say. I'm not a puppet. I can choose. You? The detective from before? Why are you just standing there? Is it over? I'm fine. Sorry to scare you. I'm here to talk to you. See, I've never been good at apologies. I'm sorry for everything I put you through. I've been meaning to talk to you ever since that day. I should have come sooner. You're here to apologize? Now? I didn't hear from anyone in 6 months. Please only talk to me once, and then everyone here started avoiding me and acting like it never happened. I guess that makes me the last person you'd want to see now. After that day, I'm sure some police came by and told you that I was only following procedure, but that's bull. Police in this country don't go around shooting people. I didn't feel myself lost control, putting you at risk. It sounds vague to say I lost control at such a crucial time, I bet. But that's the truth. The truth? It's strange, isn't it? The cherry blossoms, I mean. It's silly, but every time someone comes here and says how beautiful they are, I get so mad. It's like they don't understand my feelings at all. That's selfish, huh? It's not like I want everyone to suffer along with me. I imagine the only other one who understands that is you, Detective. Your name's Ito, right? It's so quiet here. It's hard to imagine something like that day in April really happened in a place so peaceful. Stop it with the fucking sound! But it did. I know that you and your partner were only doing what you could to save me, but I wish I could have helped. I felt so helpless. At least you told me the truth. Thank you. You know, I asked Grandma about the mask the redheaded girl was after. She denied knowing anything. But it was a lie. I found one of her old journals at the shrine, and she wrote that the mask was important and had to be hidden away. Why would she lie to me? I'm sick of everyone always trying to protect me by covering everything up. Grandma hasn't been the same since that day either. She shuts herself in that old house and mumbles to herself about darkness and purity. I'm so worried about her. My gut tells me that mask has something to do with it. I'm sorry, listen to me. Rambling away, I bet you didn't care about any of that. The truth is, I think you're right about the mask having something to do with all this strangeness. I actually came here to ask you about it. You think so too? Then let me help you. I don't know anything, but maybe Takashi does. Oh, sorry, Takashi's my brother. He used to live here in Kamakura with me and Grandma, but he left the first chance he got. We talk on the phone all the time, but he refuses to come back and visit. I get the feeling he knows something I don't. He won't even tell me about how my parents died. Where does your brother live now? He's an instructor at a kendo dojo in Asakusa in Tokyo. Here's a big shot in the kendo world. Sounds like he'd be a good place to start. Do you think he'll speak with me? He could try. He's never been very good at opening up to strangers, though. It's worth a shot. Thanks for helping me, Mai. Well, that was fucked up. Jesus. Why did the mask want me to kill her? It's so weird. Still no visitors. Alright. Well, on the plus side, I didn't kill anybody. Christ. Alright, so we need to go to Asakusa. Oop. Traditional Culture Entertainment District. Cool. Excuse me. My investigation up to that point led me to believe that finding Takashi Kawana would be difficult and convoluted, but couldn't be further from the truth. Turns out his kendo dojo was well regarded as a popular training spot for a few national champions and several of the city's police officers. The latter made me nervous. The information I was asking for was sensitive, and I didn't want word of my investigation finding its way back to HQ. A few misfired questions could end up with the officers knocking on my door, or worse, Yukimura himself calling me out. I had to be cautious. The soundtrack in this game is just driving. Alright, traditional tea shop. Meow. Meow? Ooh. Do you interested in buying some of the finest takoyaki in Tokyo? In the cheap stuff you buy at a food stand at a festival, they'll make you question everything you know about octopus in ball form. Who could say no to a sales pitch? Alright, sure, I'll take some. Yummy. I don't understand the appeal of takoyaki, but alright. This is maybe the best takoyaki I've ever had. Thank you. Best takoyaki on all the islands. My professionalism goes down, but my sanity goes up, and my neurosis goes down. What the hell? Tourists, likely. I can hear them speaking English. Ugh, my English isn't so great. So I doubt they'll be much of help, but I wonder what they're talking about. Something we can help you with, huh? I don't speak English. Wait, Japanese? Your Japanese is perfect. As a college professor, if it wasn't, I'd probably be out of a job. I'm no college professor, but I work in a Japanese software company, so I'd be in a bit of trouble too. Huh? Don't look at me, I just live here. Well, not in Tokyo, in the suburbs. Whoa, I think you guys might speak Japanese better than I do. I mean, sorry, I never would have thought... Would you prefer to speak in English instead? No! I mean, no, please, Japanese is fine. Sorry, I wasn't meaning to be nosy. I guess I don't see people wearing yukata this late in the year. Is there a festival or something? No, we come to Asakusa every year, and the yukatas became part of the tradition after a while. Guess it makes us stand out more than we already do, huh? Don't knock tradition, Tony. Admittedly, my legs are a little cold, though. You guys come here every year? You must know the area pretty well by now. I'm looking for a kendo dojo where Takashi Kawana works. Should be in this area. Kawana? Why does that name seem so familiar? Oh, right, he's that kendo instructor in the dojo right behind us. People say he's some kind of prodigy. I wouldn't be surprised if he became a master in time. Supposedly, he's very particular about who he trains. I suppose he doesn't want to waste his time with people who aren't serious. Makes sense when you think about it. With how good he is, he must get a ton of wannabe kendo masters coming to him. Seems like he trains a lot of police, too. In the time we've been standing here, they've seen a few come in and out. All that, and I think he's still in his 20s. Someone so young must be under a lot of pressure. No kidding. I've heard talk of an interdepartmental kendo tournament. It's going to be a matter of pride for the different regional departments. Wish my work did martial arts competitions between departments. Nothing would work out the unspoken tension between me and my boss quite like a good smack to the jawline. Police fighting each other, huh? That must be pretty brutal. I mean, I guess police in Japan don't really have to use force all that much, though. Yeah. Anyway, how do you know so much about the dojo anyway? I mean, I live in Shinagawa, and I didn't know anything specific about it. You see, it says so right here in the dojo's flyer. He was out here about 10 minutes before you came, handing them out. Kind of seemed a little prickly, so we didn't talk to him, though. I admit, it would have been much cooler if we'd known that off the top of our head. But we're glad we were able to help you regardless. Makes me feel a little silly now, trying to learn more about him from a flyer. Considering you trained so many police, I'm surprised I never heard of him until now. Are you associated with the police somehow? Huh? Me? No, of course not. I'm an investigator, see? Like a private detective. Listen, if anyone comes asking about a female detective, just, sorry, I don't speak Japanese. Right? Exactly. I appreciate it. Anyway, I should get going. Sorry to bother you. Thanks for the information, guys. Our pleasure. Good luck at the dojo. Let us know if you learn any kendo tricks. The men in the department always puffed out their chests when they talked about the kendo competitions like it was going to impress me or something. I never paid it much attention. Still, it's strange that someone related, however faintly, to the mask has yet another tie to my old life. Takashi Kawana seems like an interesting guy, but very serious and not keen on strangers. At least I didn't have to use any English. That would have been a disaster. Very traditional aesthetic. Who are you? Let's not lie. Detective, huh? I recognize you from the papers. This is about Mai, right? I had a few questions about your family. Mai said you could help me. She did she? How'd you get that out of her, I wonder? Sorry, Detective, I don't know anything about my family that would be of use to you. I haven't even asked you anything yet. Good. Let's keep it that way. At any rate, I'm busy. You can see yourself out. Shit. I mean, he would have recognized me either way, because if he saw me in the papers. Well, that didn't go well. Maybe Maya will know how to soften her brother up. I have to go all the way back to freaking... How are my stats looking? Professionalism's kind of okay. Investigation is kind of okay. Neurosis is relaxed. Sanity is still in the negatives, but that's not the worst thing. Alright, back to Kamakura. Okay, why did we stop here? So, there's only one crow. And if I've learned anything about Japanese culture, is that 4 is death and 1 is okay, so... Are you gonna try to make me kill her again? I think I managed to find your brother. He didn't exactly seem happy to see me. Yep, you found Big Brother alright. He's been protective of me ever since we were little. I know I'm probably overstepping my boundaries, but would you be willing to come talk to him? I don't think he'll tell me anything on my own. You want me to help? You know, seeing you again really got me thinking. I decided that even if everyone's trying to hide it, I can't sit here and ignore what's happening. I need to understand why my family's been acting so strangely. Even my own brother is keeping me in the dark. I'm sick of it. Sure, I'll come with you, Ito. If I went alone, he'd probably pat me on the head and send me on my way, but if you're there, I'm sure he'll tell me about my parents, the mask, and everything. Are you sure that's what you want? Sometimes not knowing is better, Mai. No more stupid little Mai. I'd rather be hurt and know than happy and ignorant. But before we go, let's check on Grandma. These days she doesn't know where I am. If she doesn't know where I am, it can really set her off. Alright, we'll make a quick stop at the house. Thanks, bye. Still only one crow. Whoa, wait a second. What the hell? Dead crow lies in the middle of the street. Small body is in a bad state of decay. Covered with dried blood, the maggots have begun eating its remains. Why? I'd imagine... I said no visitors! Leave me alone! Grandma, it's me. Please open the door. My? Oh my, it's you. Please, come in. Yes, come in. The last time we got here, our sanity took like 17 hits. So maybe not the best idea. Wait, what is she doing here? It's okay, Grandma. She's here to help. Help? Ha! Don't make me laugh. You were supposed to help me, remember? I felt something and you were going to free me from the past. Free you? Are you talking about the mask? Do not discuss that horrid thing here. No matter how far you go, I can still feel it. Like needles in my skin dragging me to it. In my dreams, I can still see that place. Have you seen it too, Detective? A dark place where those we've lost reside. I'm so old and have wasted so much time, and yet the pain won't go away. My poor Miko. I miss her so much. If only I could have found her. Miko, you mean Mom? Find her? What are you talking about? She's gone. Takashi told me she died after I was born. Yes, of course. You shouldn't be asking about such things, Mai. If it wasn't for this woman, you'd be safe at the shrine. No, Grandma, you're wrong. I'm not safe while everyone lies to me. I'm going to see Takashi. If you don't tell me the truth, he will. Mai, listen to yourself. You must stop. Opening the door to the past will solve nothing. Ever since you were little, I've done what I could to protect you and your brother. Please don't go down this path. You look so much like her, you know, your mother. And you, Detective. Perhaps my granddaughter is too naive to see it, but you can't hide it from me. I know what you've seen, what you think you're able to do. But keep my family out of it. We've suffered enough. You don't know anything about me, and besides, I'm not the one hiding things from my family. Tell me, do you know the story of Izanagi and Izanami? Persona 4 has a great interpretation of that. Grandma, this again? I'm sure Ito's not interested in hearing some old myth. Really, we should get going. Stay right there. Though I've told you this story many times, you don't seem to grasp its importance. I think it would be of use to this woman to hear it. Izanagi and Izanami were the first of the gods, known to us as the Kami. In legend, it was the drops of ocean water that fell from Izanagi's jeweled spear that created the islands of Japan. When they descended to our lands, they brought their love and devotion with them to the realm of mortals. Izanagi and Izanami had many children, the deities of nature that inhabit the natural world all around us. For a time, life was peaceful. However, as Izanami gave birth to Kagutsuchi, the kami of fire, she was horribly burnt and suffered mortal wounds. As she lay dying and faced with her mortality, new kami were born from her suffering. Kami that hid away from the light. When Izanami passed, Izanagi was inconsolable, and in his rage, he struck down the child that killed his love. Unable to accept her death, he ventured deep underground to Yomi no Kuni, the land of the dead. Half-blind and distraught with grief, he wandered in the darkness until he finally heard the voice of his beloved. If this sounds familiar, you might be familiar with Greek myth and the myth of Persephone... what's his name? Oh my god, I don't remember. He was told not to look back. Thank you. Orpheus and Eurydice. He was told not to look back as he guided her out of the land of the dead, and he did. And she got stuck there forever. Though unable to see her face, Izanagi begged Izanami to return with him. Izanami replied that she would try and ask the gods of Yomi no Kuni permission to return to the land of the living. Incapable of restraining his desire to see his love, Izanagi set his comb alight in order to look upon his lost love. What greeted him was the sight of her decaying, worm-eaten face. In horror, Izanagi attempted to flee Yomi no Kuni. Izanami, enraged, sent dark spirits to pursue him and drag him back to her. After narrowly escaping, Izanagi sealed the entrance to Yomi no Kuni with a great boulder. So you see, it is our mortality that brings suffering into the world, yet resisting it is a perversion of the natural order. Being mortal means we must accept that we cannot control life and death. Detective, some things cannot be changed, and some doors should never be opened. You must stop. Grandma, you're talking about stories and myths. We're talking about real things. The story may be a myth, but there is truth within it. Can't you see that? The things you pursue, they're unnatural, unclean. Heed my warning and stop this foolishness. I won't let you involve my family any further. First, those bastards take my Amiko, then you show up. Perhaps I'm being punished for my sins. Mai, come here. Come here, my sweet child. We must keep you away from her. No, Grandma, I told you already. I'm going to see Takashi. I'm an adult now. You can't tell me what to do anymore. No, you can't. You can't go. We must protect our family from outsiders, Mai. You're reopening old wounds. Leave us alone. Let us heal. Heal? You think I want to heal? Can't you see how much these lies have hurt me already? You're the one wounding me, Grandma, not Ito. You're delusional. You tell us stories about kami and spirits. Takashi might hide things from me too, but at least he makes sense. This time he's going to tell me the truth about everything. About Mom and Dad, too. No, stop. I'll tell you about your parents, how they... You can't, can you? You've never told me how they died. The reasons always changed every time I asked. No, Mai, please, you must listen. They might be listening. They're still out there and they haven't forgiven me, can't you see? They? What are you talking about? You're insane! Sorry I spoke to you that way. I'll be back to check on you soon. Don't go, please. Goodbye, Grandma. Well, that was fucked up. Also, oh, never mind. I'm sorry, she's gotten much worse since you last saw her. No, it's fine. Why do you think she told us that story? About Izanagi? I don't know. It was kind of creepy, wasn't it? She was talking about it like she really believed it. Come on, let's go see Takashi. The moral of stories like that is, when people pass, you may want them back, but you shouldn't subvert the natural order. I mean, there's a whole bunch of lessons you can take from it, but that's what I'm getting from this one. Because if you subvert the natural order, then it's going to cause problems. Whoa, where do you think you're going? Mai and I are leaving, what of it? Oh, well, you can't. I got a call from Mai's grandmother, and she says she's having health issues, so she has to stay. I didn't ask what they were. I don't want to be caught fainting on the shift again, but it must be pretty bad if she called. Mai's an adult. Her grandmother can't keep her here. Let's go. No, you don't understand. You're not going anywhere. That's my only option? I would greatly prefer not to use violence. Let's see if there's a way that we can... Ugh, good thing I'm wearing gloves. This better work. I don't know why I thought of that dead bird, but I did. Oh my god. I told you about how I don't like about the blood. Blood's not really my thing, you see, and the germs. Okay, I'm dizzy. I'm a little dizzy. Just gonna. And down he goes. Oh dear, did he just faint? Sure looks like it. He'll be fine. Let's get a move on. Just leave that on his chest. Still better than using violence. Wait, does that mean my investigation is super high now? My investigation is super high now. Hold on a second. Oh, 1 order per customer. Oh, I was gonna buy Mai some octopus balls. Oh well. Mai, what are you doing here? Did she make you come? It's not like that, Takashi. It was my idea. I asked her to come talk with you, but you sent her away. This woman almost got you killed. You expect me to cooperate with her? Surely if you need to talk to me, you can come yourself. My sister doesn't need to be involved. No, if I came alone, you just evade all my questions like you always do. Besides, there's something I need you to see. See what? What are you talking about? Where did you get that? Put it away! So you do know what it is. I knew you were hiding something from me. It's not true, I wasn't hiding it. Not something you ever needed to know about. Besides, why is she carrying it in the first place? Wait, don't change the subject. This isn't about Ito. I understand that you're upset with me, but we should talk about this another time. Furthermore, that mask has nothing to do with you. You're wrong. Back in April, when Mai was held at knife point by another girl, it was this mask she was after. The mask your family is connected to. Looking for it? I suppose I've been a fool to think I could keep the truth of our family's past away from you. The past? What does this have or does this have to do with Mom and Dad? Yes, and so much more. I first saw that mask when I was a child, before you were born. The truth is, it belonged to a cult called the Common Kai, of which our parents were members. A cult? You're kidding. How'd your parents get mixed up in that? I know how it sounds. I find it hard to believe myself. They were a group led by a guru named Toki Masa, who promised a simpler life away from the hypocrisy and falseness of city life. Our parents both had master's degrees, and my mother was on her way to earning her PhD. They chose to give up their lives and their careers to follow some mystic and live in a compound instead. The Common Kai were one of many such groups back then. I was a child and didn't understand, but thinking about how our parents were deceived and what they put me and Mai through, it's unforgivable. The mask was on the compound, but for what purpose or what they believed it could do, I don't know. Do you think there are any members of the Common Kai left who'd know? No. You see, there are no surviving members. They died. All of them, including our parents. I'm sorry, I don't remember much about it. One night, Grandma came into the room where we were sleeping, saying we had to go. The compound was in the woods, so it was dark and I could barely see, but she kept charging forward with Mai in her arms and me dragging behind. When we were back in Tokyo several days later, Grandma told me that her parents were dead. She didn't seem sad. It was as if she expected it. The government censored much of what happened, so I was never able to learn how they died. Me and Grandma didn't speak of it, ignoring it as if my childhood and everything that happened in those woods was all a bad dream. If it weren't for her, we'd probably be dead with our parents, but ignoring it couldn't erase the anger I felt towards them. I wonder if they even cared about what might happen to us. As a high schooler, I spent more time trying to find out about the Common Kai than I did studying. I thought that if I could understand why my parents were so willingly gave up their lives and abandoned us, I'd stop feeling so betrayed. But I was wrong. Nothing I found gave me any peace. Mom and Dad died as part of some cult? I don't believe it. It's true. I'm sorry I didn't tell you sooner. I guess that in hiding it from you, I was able to hide away my feelings as well. I think for Grandma it was too painful to talk about. I believe she took possession of the shrine in order to live a simpler life. We had to keep it secret. There's no way we could live a normal life with the stigma of the Common Kai attached to us. I suppose keeping that secret hurt us both dearly. For me, pursuing kendo gave me some measure of control over my life again. Damn it, stupid headband. But Grandma, who made a choice to leave her only daughter behind, she always seemed to carry the guilt of it with her. She started going out at night, babbling about how she was looking for Mom. When she'd come home, she'd have a rotten stink on her clothes. I was too scared to confront her, so I tipped off the police. They found her wandering in the sewers holding nothing but the mask. The same one from the cult compound all those years before and the one you hold now. I was shocked when they gave it to me. I hadn't seen it for so long and all the unpleasant memories from my past came flooding back. That was when I decided to leave Kamakura. It was the only way I could move on with my life. That doesn't account for how the mask ended up with your grandmother in the first place. I don't know how she got it. It seemingly appeared out of thin air, or maybe someone gave it to her, she never said. I left the mask with her. It always made me uneasy, it had a strange aura about it. Wait, Grandma was looking for Mom? In the sewers? I don't remember any of this. You were in the dorms at your school at the time. Grandma's strange behavior was part of why I insisted on you going to those private schools away from Kamakura. I couldn't drag you into the madness of our past. We parted ways without ever speaking of it, and she was much better by the time you returned to Kamakura. Detective, what exactly is it that you're looking for? Surely our family's history isn't of some use to you. I assume you've heard about what happened to my partner. This mask was there again when he died. It's more than an ornament. I need to know where it came from. If that's true, then I want to help. Your partner, he seemed like a nice person. No, Mai, you've helped plenty, but I have to do this on my own. Ito is right. I apologize for not telling you all this sooner, but you can't be involved in something so dangerous. I already thought I'd lost you that day at the shrine. I won't forgive myself if something happened to you now. Alright, thank you for finally telling me the truth, Takashi. I'll head back for now. I hope you remember that I'm your sister. I may not remember the same things you do, but we're still family. I'll see you guys later. Thank you for your help, Mai. You're right, Mai. I'll come visit you soon. Looks like she's gone. Mai's not here. There's no need to be coy. No doubt taking possession of that mask has taken its toll on you. Even in the brief time I was in contact with it, I felt an immense darkness behind it. I had such strange dreams and saw things I never would have dreamed up on my own. There's always an unusual air about it that I couldn't stand to be around. Maybe lying to Mai again makes me a hypocrite. All I know is I don't want her getting hurt. But like you said, I don't believe that mask is simply wooden paint, though I doubt anyone else would believe us. No one ever did, except for one man. On this street, there's an old tea shop. Perhaps you saw it on the way in? An old historian named Yasuhisa is there occasionally. He was the only one who ever acknowledged what I said about the mask as truth. If you're looking for information on the mask, he may be the best person to ask. I never pursued the topic with him, but I speak with him occasionally on other topics. His mind is a vault of valuable information. Hopefully you can shed some light on what it really is. I hope so, but please, Detective, be careful. Interesting. So everybody that touches it realizes that there's nothing good about it. Welcome, come in, do sit down, no need to be so formal and stand there like a statue. How can I help you? Are you Yasuhisa? Takashi told me to come speak with you. I keep wanting to call him Takahashi, and that just makes me think of Johnny Mnemonic. Oh, and how is Mr. Kawana? Still prickly as ever, I suppose? I've always found him to be wise beyond his years, though perhaps not by choice. I digress. My apologies. It's the quirks that come with old age, you know. What does Mr. Kawana think I can help you with? I'm looking into a few things related to the Common Kai, the group his family got mixed up in. More difficult answer than you might expect. You see, there are two groups that share that name. The first, as you know, is the religious group formed by the Guru Tokimasa. The second is an ancient order over 1,000 years old. What's that you're holding? I was told it's related to the Common Kai, the newer one, and that you would tell me about it. Ah, that explains many things, child. The far-off look in your eyes, for one. I imagine you have many, many questions. Masks are interesting, are they not? They're meant to be a disguise, and yet a mask cannot lie or contort itself to hide the truth. In that sense, it is the mask that is more truthful than the human faces we hide underneath them. I wonder how you came to be in possession of an object with such a dark history. I think it might be related to a missing person, but I don't know anything about it beyond that. Ah, but that itself is the essence of history. Layers upon layers of personal connections that are continuously peeled back to their root. Relics like the one you hold— this is tickling my throat awfully, hold on. Jesus. Okay. Relics like the one you hold often take unusual routes to where they end up. Relic? If it's from the Common Kai call from the 90s, then I'd hardly call it a relic.
Misguided and deceptive as he was, Tokimasa was no fool. In order to gain new followers, he needed to give his cult historical legitimacy. He collected obscure objects and gave them new meanings that he could control in order to manipulate his followers. The mask was what he chose, along with the name of the group that created it. Interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess so. Only, I guess I was hoping you could tell me some other things about it.
For instance?
Like why? Now that I'm about to say it out loud, it sounds silly. I'm sorry I bothered you.
Don't be silly. You wonder, for example, why holding the mask seems to take you to another place. Or perhaps why you can see visions that don't seem real. Why you feel a strong will exerting itself on you. Oh yes, I know all about those things too. How could you know about that? When Tokimasa was in possession of it, he believed it showed him a path to the realm of the gods. He wrote extensively on the subject. Though unlike most, I don't discount such phenomena as the ravings of a madman when the phenomena repeats itself. Do you too look into the inky blackness and see familiar shapes in the shadows?
Not shadows. I see and hear people who are supposed to be dead. I find things I couldn't possibly have found otherwise.
Most interesting. Tell me, Detective... Oh, apologies. Do you mind if I call you that?
I don't remember telling you I was a detective.
My mistake. You must forgive me. A slip of the tongue. I believe it was the way you carried yourself. Determined investigators such as yourself have a sense of purpose in their mannerisms, you see.
You're starting to freak me out here, buddy.
And you do seem rather determined to get to the bottom of whatever it is you're chasing. Tell me, does me telling you that your experiences are not an illusion provide you any level of comfort?
I'm not sure, but I do feel something. Maybe hope? It's like I finally got a foothold on solid ground.
Ah, yes. Knowledge is a light in dark places, is it not? To think a relic of such import would end up with a detective. Do you mind if I ask you something? Which do you believe? Are our lives controlled by fate, pre-measured threads that determine our deeds, our wishes, and our ends the minute we come into existence? Or, conversely, is our thread subject to the chaos inherent in our universe instead? Does it change according to our deeds and that which happens to us, seemingly by accident? Do you believe it is fate or chance that decides which threads of life are cut short and which are followed?
I am a strong believer in chance. I'm a strong believer in making your own fate, making your own destiny.
Yes, of course. Perhaps you fear your life has been somewhat out of your control as of late.
Control, huh? To be honest, I don't feel like I've had that much of that since the mask came to me. You said that the mask was made by the old common guy. Why? Confusing me can't be the purpose it was made for.
Ah, yes, a more complicated answer than you might have wished for. Indeed, it should come as no surprise that the creation of such a mysterious object is equally enigmatic. Perhaps you could do me a favor. Don't worry, it is in relation to this very topic. An important book has gone missing from my shop. If you could retrieve it for me, I feel it could shine a great deal of light on the subject.
What kind of book?
A book of the missing variety. I'm sorry, I jest. It concerns the Mask Bearer.
Mask Bearer? Huh, that's me, right?
Although you carry it, that does not make you its bearer. All will become clear when the book is returned to me.
Sounds easy enough. Where can I start looking?
Oh, you needn't go far. The man who has it is right outside this building, in fact. As I said, it's not much of an errand, but I, of course, cannot leave my shop.
He's right outside? This won't take long. I'll be right back. He can't leave his shop. He doesn't want to, or he actually can't. The old tea shop next door? Isn't that place closed down? Closed? That can't be right. What else do you know about it? Pure conjecture on this one, but I think it might be owned by the kendo instructor from the dojo down the street, on account of being the only one I ever see in there. You might not believe me, but I swear I saw him in there chatting away to himself. Possibly he's a little nuts. Then again, it might be some super awesome kendo meditation technique. Oh man, why didn't I think of that before? Next time I'd ask him for some pointers instead of spying on him, eh? Word through the grapevine is that he's a regional champion or something and has trained some of the best. Lots of cops train with him too, so he must be good. Maybe he's not so crazy after all. Speaking of which, I have a bit of a crazy question for you. I know you said it was closed, but do you know anything about a book taken from there? Maybe recently? I was led to believe you would. Oh jeez. Go on. Like I said, the place has been empty for years, but, you know, I spent a lot of time outside it, and half the time the door's wide open. So one day a few months back, I decided to take a look around. Nothing suspicious or nothing, I was just curious is all. Curiosity killed the cat, right? Anyway, it was all dusty and old, and there's all sorts of weird stuff laying around. So I might have taken a little souvenir. I mean, it wasn't super old or nothing, so I figured no one would miss it. Besides, it wasn't for me. It was for my kid brother. That guy can get deep in the dumps sometimes, so I try to be on standby for when that happens, you know? So I figured a little gift would cheer him up. And back then, he was going through some particularly tough times. His bitch wife, pardon my language, miss, had left him and taken their kid daughter with her. He still doesn't talk about it, like he's in denial or something. Oops, got off track again. I was heading to visit him with the ill-gotten book when I got this phone call saying he was in the hospital. He OD'd on some expensive sake and sleeping pills. Thank God that idiot decided to do it at the bar he owns, with the door unlocked. Customer came in and called an ambulance, which, if it weren't for that, I'm not sure he'd still be here. That's quite a story. Sounds to me like he wanted to be found. Yeah, I think so too. I think he was trying to ask for help in his own way. In any case, I took the book to him while he was in the hospital. Tried to show him that, even when he was at his lowest, there was someone out there trying to do something nice for him, you know? I think it helped. For a minute, anyhow. As soon as the doctors let him leave, he went right back to that toxic little bar. Hope he's okay. He's got issues, but he's my little brother, and I worry about him. He's not been answering my phone calls lately. Originally, my brother's bitch ex-wife, sorry again, had the brilliant idea to put his skill to work in the cheap part of town. Despite that, he's holding on to it with everything he's got. The place is slowly bankrupting him, but he won't let it go. I know this guy. All he has to do is sign some paper and move on, but he can't. Something about it has his claws sank deep into him. I've been trying to get him to join me in my business for years. He's a great chef, and we can make a killing. Maybe it's not the same as owning a whole bar, but serving passers-by and getting some sunshine is good for the soul. Plus, food stands are doing really well abroad, I hear. Much better than wasting time in Shinjuku, at any rate. Shinjuku? Yeah, and it's like a little side street. Anyway, if that book is important to you, he's probably still got it at his place. You want the address? Wait, I knew you looked familiar. Your brother's Daiso, right? You know him? Small world! It was probably the smile on my face that threw you off. Tell him his brother Haruto says hi. While you're at it, tell him the takoyaki stands are still the future of cuisine and get his butt over here. Haha, I'll do that. Thanks for all your help. Well, that's a weird connection. Let's go back to Shinjuku. Also, the reason that I'm going after the mask first is because it seems like it's necessary to safely, quote-unquote, interact with the dark. I don't want to go into the dark without some kind of knowledge of what I'm going to be facing. Hi, Yami. How can I help you today? Hey, Daiso, how are things? You know. Same old, same old. Funny thing, I met your brother while I was in Asakusa today. Haruto? You met Haruto? What are the chances? Who knows? It was pretty random. Huh, who'd have thought? So he's still selling takoyaki at his stand? Did he say anything? He is. He said to remind you that takoyaki stands are the future of cuisine and that you should go and help him. Yeah, you talked to Haruto, alright. Always the optimist, that guy. I actually have a favor to ask you. Do you still have the book your brother gave you a few months ago? Huh, the only thing that guy gives me is headaches. Not sure if I can help you, Yami. He said he gave it to you when you were in the hospital. Oh, what makes you think I was in the hospital? I didn't even go to the hospital for checkups. Besides, that dolt's bringing me stuff all the time. Always trying to drag me kicking and screaming over where the grass is greener. This would have been more recent. After a rough patch. Maybe it was stupid to come and ask me. Oh, no, it's fine. That idiot. Always running his mouth. Freaking traitor. Those were just some, hard times. Nothing serious. I just drank too much is all. I'm sorry, Detective, but I don't want to talk about it. Alright, understood. I'm not here to dig up bad memories, Daiso. Thanks. You said you were looking for a book, right? Truth is, I don't remember a book. I do remember Haruto giving me an old magazine, though, back in the hospital. It's one of the ones I used to read when I was younger, when things weren't quite so complicated. Wait there a second, I may have it in the storeroom still. Dang it! Sorry, Yami, hold on a sec. Amazing how much junk someone accumulates over the years. Maybe I should throw some of this old stuff out, huh? Here it is. It's yours, Detective. What the hell? No wonder I recognize that photo you brought by. It's the same girl, an idol named Ruby. Reina. No, Ruby. See? It says so right there on the cover. Pretty crazy that it was still in my shop. Guess that means you're still looking for her. Huh. Wonder why we keep running into each other. Weird luck, I guess. I don't buy it. You're a hell of a detective. You must have a pretty sharp nose. Ha. If you say so, Daiso. Do you mind if I take this? Like I said, it's yours. About time I started getting rid of some of my old junk. Thank you. See you around, Ayami. Take care, Daiso. This can't possibly be the book that the guy is looking for, right? But there's no other book. Let's go back to the tea shop and see what he says. Yeah, I can't talk to him anymore.
Ah, welcome back, Detective. Is that my book I see in your hands?
Guess I'm a little surprised. You trying to tell me Reyna is the mask bearer you talked about? That's hard to believe.
Does it surprise you? After all, it is she you see in the dark, is it not?
Dark. That's what the Collector called it too. How'd Reyna get tied up in all this?
I only know that somehow the girl's path and the masks collided as if by chance. What circumstances led to this intersection are a mystery, I'm afraid. People always see history as something in the distant past, involving old men in black and white pictures. But that book and the girl are as much a part of history as the rest. The threads that connect the past to the present, and people to each other, are not always apparent. But peel back the layers of connection and the randomness of our universe neatly orders itself. A teen idol, an ancient order, the tool they created, and the detective who holds it now, all forming a neat and tidy line.
Reyna was some sort of idol living in Tokyo, not part of a sleeper cell of some cult. It doesn't add up.
On that, Detective, we can agree, so why don't we start at the beginning? To how the mask ceased to be a mere object, the story starts in ancient times in the year 1333. At that time, Kamakura was the capital of Japan. Led by the Hojo clan, it was a time of peace, prosperity, and enlightenment.
Why is this guy's voice tickling my throat so bad?
Peace among men is cyclical, and like so many before them and so many after, their time of peace came to an end. The Nita clan, loyal to Emperor Go-Daigo, led a siege against the Hojo-controlled Kamakura, taking the city as the tide receded, leaving a key passage open to the invaders. The Hojo clan fled to the caves of their family temple. For them, there was no hope of victory or escape. They chose to retain their honor. Instead of surrendering, the 870 Hojo samurai, including the last 3 regents, committed mass suicide. However, the Hojo and Nita clans, embroiled in their quest for empire, could not see the role they played in the plans of another group, the religious sect known as the Kamankai. It is said that in the flames of Kamakura, a girl was seen wandering the streets, observing the carnage of the burning city. A girl lost to the histories by the name of Kikako Shichijo, the last survivor of the Kamankai.
Okay, so whatever the Kamankai were trying to do, they failed. I mean, they all died, right?
No, they did not fail. Everything went exactly as planned. Chikako Shichijo did not survive by chance. She was chosen.
Chosen for what?
To receive the blessing of all the spiritual energy that so much death afforded. To become the first mask bearer.
Mask bearer? The Kamankai used the deaths of all those people to create this? Why?
Legend has it that the Kamankai sought to contain the door, a rift leading to the spiritual realm, where our consciousness ceases to be and time holds no meaning. A place where cause and effect could be changed.
Why? Why spend so much human life and give up so much to do that?
To stop it from being abused. Imagine being able to see the world as a god, so that the flow of time and the rules which govern our world are of no consequence. This is the power of the door. To a mortal mind obsessed with the finality of death and meaningless accomplishment, such power would corrupt absolutely, a power over death. So a dark place was created to obscure the door and hide it from mortal eyes, along with a tool to control and see within the darkness.
It's true, all of it. It sounds like a fairy tale, but it's true. Finding the door could be the key to bringing Tanaka back.
Some doors, no matter how strong they call to us, are not meant to be opened, and the Kamankai willingly gave their lives to keep it that way. The mask opens the mind to all who come in contact with it, but is intended for its bearer. Using it to find the door may destroy you.
Maybe you're right, but I can at least use it to find my way in the dark, just like the Collector said. The only thing I don't get is how Reyna is connected to it.
That is a mystery. As Mr. Kawana told you, the last known location of the mask was the Kamankai cult only a few decades ago. Much was suppressed about the Kamankai under Tokimasa. They existed, and then on March 4th, 1996, they met their end. There were many theories that the police killed them during their raid of the compound, or that someone within the cult had snapped and murdered the others. Nothing but conjecture, I'm afraid. The real answer lies somewhere deep within police records, and though I remain curious, it is not something I have access to. Perhaps the best place to start is there. Finding out about the last days of the Kamenkai may help light your path to the truth. Though I wonder if such an object bred from suffering can truly put an end to it. Is it you who can finally break this terrible cycle? I've spent a long time here. I'm tired, so tired. Farewell, detective.
Welp. Do I have to go back to the police station? Sitting there comfortably, the historian Yasuhisa casually laid out everything that I've experienced like he was reading it out of a book. Mass suicide, ancient groups, and a door to the spiritual realm. It sounds like a myth, an interesting story told to travelers in a bygone era. It's hard to believe it relates to Kazuki and Reina. I can't see it. The bridge between the Kamakura samurai and the young girl. He said Reina fit into the story. She's a mask bearer. But how? Yasuhisa, the collector. I thought when I met them I'd entered their world and could start to understand, however faintly. But my intuition as a detective tells me they're hiding something from me still. Maybe I'm overthinking it. I need to keep going. What day is it anyway? How long have I been chasing these leads? Day turns to night, the hours bleed into each other. Even the seasons don't seem to follow the natural order anymore. Everything's blurring together. My head. Maybe I should take my medication? Possible as it seems, following the old man's hunch is my best bet to finally understanding the mask. Even Takashi didn't know what happened to the Kamenkai. Finding the police report is the way forward. A few weeks ago, it would have been easy for me to ask around and pull a file. It'd be a bit more difficult now, I imagine. What's the worst that could happen? I should head to Police HQ and see what I can find. Alright, well, we're learning some crazy shit. I can only go to Police HQ. Okay. Well, let's go get into trouble then. Why not? Oh shit, you've got to be kidding me. Funny. Me and some of the other guys were just talking about you after practice the other day. Specifically, we were taking bets as to how long it would be before you showed your face again. Sorry? Well, shame. You coming in here cost me 10,000 yen. Not that it matters. Ever since you left, things are looking up for me. I won the last department kendo tournament, and I've been enjoying my promotion. Oh yeah, thanks for the new office, by the way. Anyway, non-active duty cops, or you in other words, ain't allowed in HQ right now, so what do you want? Oh, Christ. She's not going to be happy with me. Oh man, this just gets better and better. Begging me for a favor, huh? Kind of figured you might someday. So what do you want me to do, Ito? Sneak into the evidence locker? Steal your gun back for you? I could do anything for you. The brass have already told everyone in the damn station to steer clear of you. Here's to consider bad luck for people's careers. Well, myself excluded, I suppose. Wouldn't expect anyone to do you any favors from here on out if I were you. And I'd rather not have people see us talking and think we're all friendly or something. Now get out before I call someone down here. Again, violence is not the best way. I have to go back to Asakusa? What the hell? Why are you limiting my choices all of a sudden? I'm surprised to see you back. How can I help you, Detective? I spoke to Yasuhisa, the historian. Oh, good. And? Takashi, what is he? Huh? I don't understand your question. He's one of them. Them? Ito, are you alright? He's just an old man. What else could he be? No, Takashi, you must have noticed there's something off about him. Like the collector, but... No, not exactly like him. I'm not sure what Yasuhisa told you to scare you like this, but I've known him for years. He's a bit eccentric and too philosophical for his own good, but he's harmless. I'm going to offer some advice. What you're feeling right now, it's not him. It's you. The more time I spent researching the Kamenkai in the past, the more I began to feel like the world had gone mad. But it didn't. continued to turn on his axis as it always does. It was me who became unhinged. You could always walk away, Detective Ito. Some mysteries aren't worth solving. I was told your dojo trains a lot of people in the police. That's right, I trained many of them personally. Do you know Akira Taira, detective from Tokyo HQ? Ah yes, Detective Taira, I know him quite well. A man with a great deal of innate talent in martial arts. Though that talent is offset somewhat by his, how to put this, brash personality. Brash is a very diplomatic way to put it. Sorry to put you on the spot, but Taira is about the only usable link I've got left in the police force, and the one person who's trying to stop me the most. Seeing as you train with him all the time, I was hoping you might, know something that would change his mind, if you know what I mean? You asking me to help you blackmail Taira? Beyond the obvious reasons why I wouldn't help you do that, I also happen to think it won't work. You may be surprised to hear this, but Detective Taira actually lives a fairly straightforward life. His successes are nothing that would draw any scrutiny, at least not among his fellow officers. Here he's engaged to be married soon as well. Someone actually agreed to marry that slime? That poor girl. Yeah, it's a very nice girl. Apparently they're quite happy together. Oh yeah? Huh. We'll see how long that lasts. Ask what exactly Taira did to you to make you feel so strongly? Did to me? Haha. Now you should be asking him that. Ever since I started, he's looked down on me and never missed a chance to remind me how he felt. I ignored him because I figured if I worked hard enough and earned my promotion, that it would shut him up once and for all. You eventually got this promotion, I take it. Well, did he shut up like you thought? No, he got worse. It started with him spreading rumors about me sleeping around in HQ, and there were various complaints to my supervisor. He couldn't stand that I'd won. It's all falling apart now, though, huh? He got my old job, and every time I see him, he has that smug grin on his stupid face like he's mocking me. Huh. So you get the fact that, at least in his mind, he was right. Something like that. Taira's not the first person to think a woman didn't deserve the promotion I got. It stung a little extra when he ended up at my desk. Yes, I thought as much. You're not saying you think that brown-nosing, womanizing, lazy, good-for-nothing asshole actually deserves my spot, are you? No, I can't judge the inner workings of a police force, but from what I've heard, it certainly wouldn't be the first time an officer didn't earn their promotion, honestly. Often I watch my students spar, and I always notice an interesting trend. You see, usually the outcomes of matches have nothing to do with their skill. Is there a moral at the end of the story? Patience, Ito. You see, two students will face each other, but before they even draw their swords, they've decided the outcome. Students rank each other and themselves based on practice, their social status, their schools, or any number of things before they ever enter my dojo. A student perceiving himself as stronger will always be more relaxed, more ready to attack, while the student who's resigned themselves to defeat desperately defends. It's not skill or merit that wins the battle, it's expectations. Do you see where I'm going with this? I do, but I'm not sure if I like it. You're saying that unless I can break Taira's perception of me, I'll keep losing, right? Exactly. For men like Taira who expect certain things of women, you've defied him at every turn, but if I suck up to him and play the part, it might throw him off guard enough for me to win this fight. Sound about right? Very perceptive. Yeah, this should help. Sake? It's a gift. Wow, that's so flattering I barely even know you. I suppose in order to degrade myself to scum like Taira, I could use a drink. It's not for you. It's for Taira. Oh, here I was thinking you were being nice. It's a very expensive brand. As a matter of fact, it's Taira's favorite. A gift for his promotion. Promotion he stole. Promotion into my position. Think of it as a way to throw him off balance. You can't strike at his heart until he drops his guard, after all. You know how to play the role he expects of you. I suspect you know the type of woman he likes. Much as it pains me to admit that might work. Thanks for the sake. Ugh. Christ. So now I have to go be nice to a scumbag. Great. Ugh. Ugh. Hate people like this. Can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm sorry. That's it, Ito. I've heard enough of your... Wait, what? You heard it right, Taira. I'm sorry. You're a good detective, and I never did congratulate you on your promotion. Here, this is for you. I get it. So you think bribing me is gonna work, huh? Ken no Michi? Is that a bottle of Ken no Michi? No way, it sells out in weeks. Even my family rarely managed to get a bottle, and they knew the people to ask. How'd you get it? It's not important. Consider it an apology for how I've treated you in the past. I present this to you as a way to formally hand over my old position to you. It's clearly in better hands now. But... Ito, sit up, will you? Ito, it's fine. Just sit up already. Okay, I accept your apology. Hell, didn't know you felt that way. I mean, in light of recent events and all, it's long overdue. Guess with all the stress you've gone through, the delay is understandable. Glad you finally learned to manage your emotions appropriately. Thank you for your kind words, Detective Tyra. Ah! Hate this. Once I return to the department, I know I'll have much to learn from you. Gah! Hey, it's a little early for that talk, don't you think? I don't even know if they'll let you back on the force after the hearing. Yes, I suppose you're right, Detective. I shouldn't have spoken so brashly. Stop that, please. I always thought you'd be a better cop if you listened to your fellow detectives a bit more. Suppose there's a lot you have to learn from me, eh? I know you're right, Detective Tyra. I was so brash before. It's probably how I ended up here. Yeah, no problem. Thanks for dropping this by, Ito. Tell you the truth, it's been a tough time for all of us. It's better to stick together. We're all on the same team, after all, right? Maybe once you're back, me and you can partner up? One can only hope I'll be so lucky. Right. Look, I gotta get back to my office. You need anything else? Well, I was thinking... Oh, no, I couldn't possibly bother you. You're so busy. Huh? It's fine, I can handle it. Go on. Well, I know I shouldn't be, but I've been doing a little research, in an unofficial capacity, I was wondering if you could pull a file for me? You know I can't give you access to the system. You're suspended, and besides, it'd be against regulations. And... I guess if you stay on that side of the counter, I could get Ishibashi to help you. Don't think this means we're best friends or anything. It's just repayment for the Kennomichi. Oh, thank you. But, Detective Tyra, I wouldn't want to impose on your busy schedule. Again? Stand up! Saki, I'm going back to my office. Look up the file Ito wants, log the search query to my name. Got it? Yes, sir, of course. I'll be in my new office all afternoon, so direct any calls there. Clear? Yes, sir. I think he's gone. Damn, Ayami! I mean, I've twisted some guys around my finger before, but that was something else. Don't think it'll take long to get your office back if you can keep working that magic. Ayami, listen to me very closely. It's very, very important you train me how to do that. For, professional purposes. I think you're alright on your own, Saki. Ooh, fine, be that way. Anyway, you've got Tyra's sign-off. What did you want me to look up for you? On March 4th, 1996, there was a raid on a compound belonging to a cult called the Common Kai. I'd like the official report plus anything else you can find on it. Wow, that's some heavy reading material. I'll get right on it, boss. Doesn't look like there's much to go on here. Looks like there's only one file. Righto, I'll put it on the USB so you can take it with you. Just don't tell anyone. Here you go. Thanks, Saki. I owe you one. You owe me more than one, Ayami. See you around. Oh, that sucked. Alright, we've been going for a little while, but I kind of want to wrap up this whole mask thing so that we can look into the dark on the next one. Why does the dust keep coming down? It's freaking me out. Something doesn't smell right. There's a raid on the compound and all that's left is this lone debriefing? Doesn't add up. Not to mention, so much of what is here is redacted. Officers arriving at the scene found 12 people dead on arrival, including Tokimasa and Mai's parents. Where are the details about how they died? Not to mention the report itself was filed almost a week after the raid. So why aren't there any autopsy reports? It says here 2 children and 1 adult are believed missing. That must be Mai, Takashi, and their grandmother. Guess that means Takashi was telling the truth after all. So many people have been hiding information from me, it's almost a relief. Still, for such a short report, it raises a whole lot of questions. List of the dead, their causes of death, if there were other survivors, what else they found, it's all lost. Even the location of the compound has been classified. All I know is that the mask was found in the middle of a pile of dead bodies. What the hell happened here? Why was it covered up? Interesting. So basically, they showed up to raid the place, but everybody was already dead. The report is unclear, but it's obvious something terrible happened at the Common Kai compound. No doubt the mask had a part to play in those 12 people's death. It's in one way or another, it's found its way to Reina afterwards. She said she was searching for the door, which means her connection to it is no mere coincidence either. The Collector said the path in the dark would never reveal itself unless I understood her past. The report is a dead end for now, but he gave me another lead, a talent agency called Omega in Kabuchiko. It's not a whole lot to go on, but maybe I'll find the connection I need to connect the dots. For now, all I can do is go to Kabuchiko and ask around. Sanity plus. My investigation is so freaking high at this point that it doesn't even matter that it goes down by 10. Hey, we're straight. Nice. Alright. Next time on Character Select, we will continue our investigation and look into the dark specifically by trying to find out what the deal is with Reyna. This game is terribly interesting. I'm not sure where it's going, but I feel like there's going to be a trip to the underworld, and that's not going to end well. So, thank you very much for watching. Make sure to click that like button down below if you liked it. And yes, if you take that second pill, you die. I looked it up in the achievements. You commit suicide by overdosing. It's terrible. Don't do that. Don't do that.